Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Denise Tan, and in tonight's Game Plan. FEU's head coach, Olsen, Racela, and Emma Nojula join us to talk about the Tamaraws' run in the UAAP Season 84.
Then Coach Willy Wilson returns to play a new game on our show, and he will answer, is Giannis Antetokounmpo the best player in the world? And we'll check in with Olympian Cris Nievarez and the rest of the Philippine rowing team as they prepare for the 2021 Southeast Asian Games. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. The FEU Tamaraws showed a gallant fight against the Ateneo Blue Eagles in the UAAP Final Four. Now, as the Tamaraws complete Season 84, we are joined by their mentor, Coach Olsen Racela, and their reliable center, Eman Ojula. Also joining us tonight is UAAP analyst Coach Willy Wilson, who only had great things to say about Coach Olsen and the way that FEU ran their play. Coach Willy, glad to have you here. Coach Olsen, Eman, congratulations on the season, and of course, welcome to the game. Eman, I want to start off with you first because I may have teased you a bit before we even went on air. So I want to ask you how you feel about the way your team played throughout the season, the expectations that you had for yourselves, and of course, how you felt after everything.
Thank you for the invite, though. First of all, coming into the season, we had lots of expectations, because the chemistry has been there because we were inside the bubble for long. Then, injuries happened, and we have lots of rookies who have not experienced playing in such a big stage before. But moreover, throughout the season, we've seen the growth in our rookies and everybody. We got more confident and everybody knows their role at the end of the day. But I'm actually excited to see what the future lies for the team because the boys actually played well during the end of the season. So I'm happy with the way we played, but that's not how we wanted it to be, but we just have to be thankful to God how everything eventually went.
Coach Owen, I now go to you. Katulad ng sabi ni Eman, you guys played well during the tail end of that season. You finished with a 7-7 record, had that 5-game winning streak. Medyo kinapos lang pagdating ng Final Four. How would you sum up Season 84?
Well, we got what we set out to do initially, was to make the Final Four. But of course, we would have wanted to go farther, but mahirap kalaban ng ang Ateneo. Kailangan iwasan sila sa Final Four. But I'm proud of how we fought during that game and throughout the season. There were ups and downs, but we hung in there and we learned from our losses. And again, we made the Final Four this year. 8 straight na yata for FEU, so we're really proud of that achievement.
Coach Willy, I want to ask you, because syempre, Eman and Coach O talked about the growth of this team and all of that. A lot of eyes are always on a guy like RJ Abarrientos, but then a lot of stars came up as well. What do you make of their growth? And of course, you can direct some of this to Coach Olsen because he's right here anyway.
Oh, well, first of all, yes, you 100% correct. Gilas point guard, RJ Barrientos, but we're forgetting LJ Gonzalez. And then 2 big game players, Sohonia and Cyrus Torres. I would also like to give a lot of credit to them. But a big question that I have for Coach Olsen my captain ball during my time at San Miguel was, we know that Emma Nojula led the UAAP in scoring. If you can give us a small preview on what we are to look forward to next season and how do you plan to replace that production on the boards that Eman gave you?
But that's a good question, Willy. We were expecting really Eman to play for 2 years, but the pandemic happened and his playing years was got cut short from 2 to 1 because of his age. But it's going to be a big loss. Like you said, he led the team in rebounding. We have some foreign student athletes who will take his place. Patrick Chuenti is there, who played the previous season. But it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It has to be a collective effort, rebounding. It's a big loss. Eman's the shortest import among all the foreign student athletes, but he topped the league in rebounding. So that's Eman for you. So kailangan it has to be a collective effort from everyone to plug in that gap or that hole na maiwan ni Eman.
Coach O, in any competition, we always say whatever happens in the end, you don't lose, you learn. So what are the main takeaways of this season? Coach O and Eman, if you can answer this both. Coach
Go
O?
ahead, Eman.
Well, first of all, as a player, first of all, like, this is the biggest stage I've ever played in my career. So I played against guys like Kwame, guys like Diop, taller guys, bigger guys, more experienced guys. Like, it's really helped me mentally also, because it boosts my confidence more. If you can do good against those guys, what more against other guys? Then, as for my team also, just like you said a while ago, we have many young guys who this is just their first year. People like Brian. So, the future is really good for the team.
Coach O?
Yeah, well, for me, every year is a learning experience. Coaching against the big name coaches in the UAAP, veteran coaches. So every year is a learning process for me. But like Eman said, we have a young team. What they learned this year, the growth that they had, is really crucial for our team, for our program moving forward. And we're very excited actually for next season. Kinausap ko lang sila today before I left the campus and really talk to them about their future, what they need to do. But again, I'm just proud of the way we fought this UAP season.
Coach O, Eman, thank you very much for joining us here today, and we're all looking forward to seeing you come back next time around. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Willy.
Coach Eman.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank
one
you.
slot remains in the finals as we await the winner between the De La Salle Green Archers and the UP Fighting Maroons in the do-or-die match happening tomorrow. Now, to help us discuss possible final scenarios between Ateneo and La Salle or UP, we still have our UAP analyst, Coach Willy Wilson. Coach, I almost forgot about UP in that spiel. Maybe it was Freudian for me because I know who I'm for. But let's talk about Ateneo, the team that after the bloodbath tomorrow, the winner of that, the reward will be Ateneo. Just how tough, or we all know how tough it's going to be. We can never avoid them, but just what makes them so strong?
Well, to be very, very brief, they lead the league in offense. They lead the league in defense. When you lead the league in both categories, you're doing something right. What do they do right offensively? They play with surgical precision. Okay, so when their player has the ball in their hands, they know their role. Players off the ball know their role. Okay, and that is a credit to Coach Tab Baldwin and his coaching staff for instilling that into his team. And then defensively, they're suffocating.
Yeah.
They're going to force you to play one-on-one. They lead the league in not giving up assists. So, when you do that and you're forcing teams to play one-on-one, not sharing the ball, it leads to success, which is what they've achieved this season.
When UP beat Ateneo, it was proof that anything can happen this
Natao
season.
sila.
Natao sila.
Bilog ang bola.
That's true though, because they've been so successful for 3 years?
Yeah.
Right.
So what does that mean? What kind of message did that send to whoever is going up against them after that UP La Salle game tomorrow?
They're angry. They're very, very angry. That streak has been broken. They wanted that streak, obviously. You ask any of them, they were like, oh, we don't care about the streak. We care about championships. But they care about the streak. That's
No matter what they say.
That's history that could have been made You know, they still could have kept the streak and won the championship, obviously. But I mean, they're angry. No, they came off a loss. You saw what they did the following game. They came out a little bit slow. Then they found their footing. The shots started coming in. Different characters started making plays, starting with DJ Andrade. But again, they remain hungry because Coach Tab and his coaching staff keep them focused. It's that killer focus that this is our target.
So, there are two things that could happen. It'll either be the Battle of Katipunan or an Ateneo LaSalle final once more. And that, we're going to find out after the Final Four tomorrow between LaSalle and UP. Yes, naka-green ako today. Yes, may konting bias. But, it's going to be a lot of fun. After the break, Coach Willy Wilson plays a new game on our show and he shall answer, is Giannis Antetokounmpo the best player in the world? Stay tuned. You're watching the game.
conference continues, so semifinals continues rather. Tonight, we bring four-time UAAP champion Coach Willy Wilson to play a new game on our show called, get this, Coach Willy Will or Will Not.
It's a mouthful, pero I think the instructions are self-explanatory. Just so all our viewers know and understand, I don't know what's in this. Coach Willy doesn't know what's in this. Denise is the only one who has all the power here. So Coach Willy will always react first and I will react second. So let's see how this works out. All right, Denise, get us going.
So, unang-una, Coach Willy will or will not claim that Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player in the world?
I will claim that Giannis is the best player in the world.
Really? Okay.
NBA champion, Finals MVP, best player in the world. Even though he may not win the MVP this year, we know that he is the most dominant force in the NBA today.
You know what? I think that this should be more of a discussion only if one of the guys who's supposed to be the best player in the world, named LeBron James, wasn't in a bad team. Right? I don't know. Or is Steph Curry?
It can be said that if you're on a bad team and you're the best player in the NBA, you make the team a good team.
Yeah, but again, that was a dysfunctional mess there. But look, there's just so much I can get into, but we don't have a lot of time. Denise, let's
Okay.
move on.
Coach Willy will or will not predict that the Suns will be the champions?
I will not predict that the Suns
Why?
will be the
Okay.
champions. Okay, I feel Chris Paul is just one of those Hall of Fame, all-time great players that will end his career without a championship, a la
Oh,
Karl
no.
Malone, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing.
Oh, no.
For some strange reason, he always finds the worst time to get injured.
Just to be clear, who is your pick for the championship?
Right now, I'm going with the Bucks again.
You're going with the Bucks. So, I don't know. The way the Suns are playing right now, it feels like you have to play perfect to beat them.
Until he gets injured.
Let's knock on wood, by the way, but let's see. Let's see what happens there. I don't know if I agree with you there, Coach, but all right.
Okay, let's move on. Coach Willy will or will not take Ja Morant over Luka Doncic?
I will not take Ja Morant
What?
over Luka
Oh,
Doncic.
no. Okay.
Luka Doncic, the matchup nightmare. I think in his playoff debut, scored the most points ever in history. 43 points. He's unstoppable in the ball screen. He's 6'8", can play the point. Matchup nightmare.
Yeah, but Ja Morant, the way that he's carrying this team, and against a force like a Steph Curry, and the way that they won in the first round despite having a little bit of adversity, I think that deserves more discussion as well, because
it does.
Ja
It
Morant
does.
is really one of those talents that you just can't take your eyes off. And let's see whether or not he evolves into more than just an athletic force.
Like
I think that would be
a Russell Westbrook, right?
No. Okay, this is gonna go
Easy.
into a lot of the. Oh
Okay.
my goodness! All right.
Okay.
Denise.
Next one. Coach
Papaaway
Willy,
ko dito eh.
tigilan mo kasi. Coach Willy will or will not declare that Jordan Poole is now a Splash Brother?
I will not declare that Jordan
Ooh.
Poole is now a Splash Brother.
Okay.
And why is that? You need to win a championship first to be crowned a Splash Bro.
Brother.
We know that he's, led the team last game in points, rebounds, assists, and he's a statistical marvel. But you need to win a championship first to be called a Splash Bro.
So take a look at the numbers there. So just incredible numbers for the three of them. I actually made a joke before that he can't be a Splash Brother because he's the pool. So, when really you have the two brothers, you can't have a third
Hey,
one
man.
because
I like
yung
that.
pool.
Keep
Pun-
the dad
yeah.
jokes to
Okay.
yourself.
Pun intended,
Yeah,
right?
pun intended. But coach, so if he does win a championship though, does that change?
Yes, it does change. And he maintains his statistical trajectory the way it is, or even dips a little bit because he's shooting, a blistering 57% from the field? That's incredible.
Coach, when you have all these predictions that we have laid out here, I think the one we argued about most will probably be the Ja Morant one and the Luka Doncic one. But when you look at Chris Paul, if health is on their side though, does that change your prediction?
It will, but obviously we cannot predict the future. We're going based off of history. Again, the saying is he had his injury early. Okay, so now he's rested and he's going to be healthy throughout the playoffs. I still don't see it because he always finds a way to get injured at the wrong time.
Coach Will, I hope you're wrong. I
I-
really hope you're
I
wrong.
would love to see Phoenix win a championship. I would love to see Chris Paul win a championship. I'm just going based off of history, and history tells us that he will find a way to get injured at the wrong time.
Let's change history, please, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Willy Wilson joining us here today, and again, I'm not sure if you're going to call any more games in the UAP season, but if you do, good luck with that. And I know that we're in for Grand Slam finish. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And when we return, we'll check in with Olympic rower Cris Nievarez and the rest of the national rowing team as they get set for the 2021 Southeast Asian Games. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
back. You're watching the game. Last 2019, the Philippine rowing team brought home 3 gold medals. This time around, Olympian Cris Nievarez is back, leading the charge towards an even better finish. Let's watch this.
Yung pressure talaga, hindi talaga mawawala yun para sa akin kasi parang nagiging, kumbaga, namomotivate na ako sa ganun para mas paghandaan ko pa yung, mas maganda yung paghahanda ko sa darating na competition. At ayun, yung pressure talaga nandun, pero sanay naman na kasi nga matagal na rin na nagko-compete. Ang problema lang is ngayong pandemic, medyo konti yung competition namin. So parang nakangapa kami ngayon kung sino yung kalaban namin, kung nasan yung kalaban namin ngayon, kung hanggang saan yung fitness nila. Pero yung training naman namin dito sa Lamesa Damis, maganda naman. So kampante naman kami na mas maganda yung papakita namin sa SEA Games. Ito rin yata yung pinakamalaking team na ipapadala ng Philippine rowing mula nung nag-start ng rowing. At tingin ko mas magiging masaya yung SEA Games ngayon kasi dati kasi yung event namin halos 3 lang, 2 lang. Minsan ako lang nagko-compete sa sa junior ganun. So mas magiging parang talagang lalaban kami doon ng as a team. At yung saya nandun, yung pressure medyo mawawala kasi nga buong team kayo nandun. So ayun, masaya.
Okay, ready, go!
According to national team coach Ed Mayrina, preparation for the 2021 Southeast Asian Games was an uphill climb. But our athletes are ready to face the challenge in Vietnam.
Ang ating preparation ay napaka-swerte rin sa team namin dahil dito nga tayo sa Lamesa Dam, wala gaanong sagabal sa aming training kasi like other sports na nandun sila sa ibang venue, kami napakalapit namin sa Lamesa Dam at since after Olympics, andito na yung team. So napaghandaan din namin yung from this year, tuloy-tuloy yung aming training. Yun nga lang, ang disadvantage is wala tayong exposure like competition abroad before this competition. Kaya we are trying our best na ibibigay namin yung aming makayanang itong SEA Games nito. Lalo dumating na rin ang aming inaasahan na foreign coach. Kahit na isang linggo lang siya rito. Talagang medyo nanghinayang kami sa preparasyon ngayon dahil nawala ngayong ating pambato na si Milcajin Caballero na nakakuha ng 2 golds ng SEA Games. Pero sa tulong naman ng Sports Commission at Philippine Olympic Committee, nabigyan nila ng chances ang ating bagong atleta, bagong team na makapag-compete this major competition. Kaya sobrang pasalamat kami sa POC. Kaya nabigyan kami ng ganong laki ng strength namin sa SEA Games. Ang ina-expect ko sa ating mga new events, hindi ko ina-expect yung gold medal, pero ang ina-expect ko dito, makapag-produce sila ng silver bronze sa ating mga team events. Ang lagi nating inaano sa ating mga atleta na nag-train sila morning and afternoon, almost 3 times a week nag-training from Monday to Saturday. So lahat na pinaghirapan nila dito sa isang competition, ibigay lang nila yung best nila at ang mga awards ay darating, susunod lang sa kanila yan.
Sa akin po, mas maganda pa yung preparation namin ngayon kasi mas nakafocus po kami and especially dito po kami na intact, naka-bubble training po. Unlike po sa ibang mga events ng national sports and unlike sa kanila po kasi sila, yung iba naka-video, VTC training. Kami po face-to-face, at least na-check po on time kung ano po yung mga preparation or yung mga trainings na programs na gagawin po namin.
Para sa akin po, sobrang pressure ko po, pero dinadaan ko na lang po sa training po. Kaya sa training po, kaya po mas buo po yung loob ko na kaya po sa SEA Games po. Laban lang po.
Una sa lahat, nagpapasalamat po kami sa mga sumusuporta sa Philippine Rowing at lalo-lalo sa buong Philippine team delegation na lalawak sa SEA Games. Sobrang thankful po kami kasi nandyan yung buong Pilipinas pagka may mga ganitong SEA Games na todo yung suporta. At ayun, sobrang thank you po.
Like most of our athletes, the Philippine rowing team trying to overcome adversity, of course, not having the ideal preparations that they wanted, Denise, kasi syempre going abroad, getting international exposure, not necessarily there. Pero alam naman natin that, you know, teams like theirs and a lot of our other national teams are finding ways to get
Of course.
ready and in the best possible
And
way.
that's why we want to thank you guys as well, because we know that you've made all the effort to really, try to be ready despite the situation para sa bansa, lahat ng paghihirap ng ating mga atleta. That's, something to be proud of. Pero ngayon, like what we saw kanina, that was our Philippine rowing team set to compete on May 9 at the 2021 Southeast Asian Games in Vietnam. So thank you for joining us. I'm Denise Tan.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paolo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.